If you have a YouTube channel, but is not growing as fast as you would like, what can you do about it? There are of course many different ways to do this, and if you Google that question, many things come up, but most of them have to do with money. But I'm sure if you're looking for videos like the one I'm making now, then you probably don't want to have to spend money on this, so here is a list of things that you can do to get more views on your videos without spending any money. Most of these things don't really help very much. However, some people think the one that just might actually work the best is something you've most likely encountered before. YouTube comments. Now we're getting to the interesting part of this video. If you have been on the internet for more than a day, then you've probably seen comments like this, or like this, with the main objective here being to get real people from the comments sections on these videos to create traffic to whatever video they link to. So is this method actually effective? I'll get to that later on in this video, but right now, I want to get into a bit of the math behind this. First of all, we know that humans are naturally curious, so that is to our advantage here, and, all things considered, I would say that when someone sees a link like this that has been replied to them in the comments, I think there is roughly a 50% chance that they will click on it. So if you analyze all of the possibilities in comparison to the views you will receive from each, then it looks something like this. There is roughly a 50% chance they won't, and roughly a 50% chance they will. So if you show each possibility like this, for the first one you don't get a view, and for the second one you get one view. If you add up the number of views possible over the total number of possibilities, then you get 1 over 2. Which means that essentially, you'll get one view from every 2 comments. Now, let's consider what happens if you put 2 links in a single comment, like this. Let's do the math for this using the same method as before. With 2 links, now we have 4 total possibilities. With 4 possibilities now, that means each one has a 25% chance of occurring. The first possibility is that they click on neither. The second is that they click on the first link. The third is that they click on the second link. And the fourth is that they click on one, watch it, then come back, and then click on the other link too. Now, like we did with the first example, add up the number of views possible over the total number of possibilities, then you get 4 over 4. Reduce that fraction, and it comes out to 1 over 1 or just 1. And what that means is you'll get one view from every comment. Now realistically speaking, is that actually true? Maybe, but also maybe not. That is because we have not considered all of the variables involved here, but we don't have to. Guessing how many views you will get from each comment is always highly subjective, and just not what I'm trying to prove here. What can be proven here is the fact that putting 2 links in a single comment is more efficient than just putting one, and I can prove this. Looking at our probabilities from before, we can easily see that the final conclusions are not necessarily true. However, just because the input variables in an equation are false, that does not mean that the correlation between 2 different equations that use the same variables are not numerically related. In fact, they must be. Here is an example: if a plus b equals x and 2a plus 2b equals y, regardless of what you put in for a or b, as long as the variables transfer between equations, y will always be twice what x is. Therefore, even if using the single link per comment strategy does not realistically yield an average of 1 view per 2 comments, we can say for sure that putting 2 links in each comment will get you 2 times as many views compared to just 1 link per comment. Based on the correlation between the probabilities of the combination of views versus comments. In conclusion, should you reply to random YouTube comments on random videos with links to your videos? Let's take a look at the pros and cons. Okay, let's start with the pros. Well, the obvious reason to do all this is to get views, and that's pretty much the only reason. Now on to the reasons not to do this. First, it is free, but it can take a lot of time to do. Secondly, if the videos do get views from this, expect to get almost relentless dislike bombing of that video because real people hate stuff like this and most likely just click only to dislike and not even to watch it. And thirdly, most channels have this thing turned on in their channel settings that automatically blocks all comments that contain links, so on most channels, it won't even work. But if you do find a channel that does not remove comments with links, be sure to weigh out all the pros and cons first before doing it.